It seems like lately we've been talking a lot about new signings, whether it's WWE or AEW. And in this video, it's actually really crazy because WWE has a new signing that's been confirmed and will debut this Friday on SmackDown. But on the other side, we actually have another story about a guy who used to be in WWE, joined AEW, and now he's going to be coming back to WWE, but not yet. It's a really strange situation. Obviously, these new signings are going to be happening, and that's why you guys got to watch this channel, because I'm always going to keep you updated. We got tons of stuff, plus a TNA signing, and it's coming up right here on the Ango Show. Okay, so first things first, I want to kick things off with TNA. If you don't know this face, this is Maggie Lee. TNA's really just, it's a great company, right? Obviously, TNA's got some cool things in the works, but there's a lot of questionable things that are happening in TNA lately. We just saw Gail Kim leave the company and a few others. Now, TNA Wrestling has confirmed today that they did, in fact, sign Maggie Lee. This was actually first reported by the Battleground podcast, which is an official podcast by iHeartRadio. Maggie Lee is a former four-year college volleyball player, and now she is joining TNA. For those who don't know, she was actually a wrestler who trained at Black and Brave. Maybe you guys know Seth Rollins. Obviously, this is a very good thing, for TNA. She's not relatively known, which I think is awesome, because that's one of the benefits of going to TNA. If you're not relatively known, it feels like maybe you're given a new lease on life. You're given a chance to show the world who exactly you are. And obviously, TNA has been really known for taking people that may not be necessarily known and then doing something with them to the point where they eventually get elevated to another level. So obviously Maggie Lee joining the company makes a lot of sense. You may have seen her a little bit here and there. A great performer, honestly, a great performer, a lot of upside, a lot of potential. A lot of people on social media have actually said that she is a considerable top free agent, which is pretty cool to hear that that the internet kind of sees her upside and potential as well. And then, of course, with TNA, this kind of fills a void. I don't think we can ignore the fact that TNA does slightly have an issue right now as it stands with their women's division. And TNA has always been relatively awesome with their knockouts division, but unfortunately, there's been a couple key losses, obviously. What they got to do is build upon that and bring people in. And I think it's kind of cool to talk about somebody who doesn't have that WWE background, somebody that doesn't have that AEW background, so to say. So for them to bring her in, it's kind of cool to see that they are trying something a little bit different. And obviously, you can only hope that they do right by her. So we'll see what happens there.
Now would be the best time to remind you that we have a major goal to hit 100,000 subscribers. Over 40% of the viewers who watch this channel are not subscribed. Please click subscribe if you enjoy staying educated on everything with wrestling news.
Okay, guys, and that's going to bring us to our next topic of today's video. Miro is no longer in AEW. We know that. We've talked about it. And the truth is, a lot of people expected that. We also spoke recently on the channel, because it does obviously pertain to pro wrestling. Him and CJ Perry, aka Lana, are back together. So that's really good, right? Like, obviously that's a great thing. However, what's actually really cool about this is now we know that Miro is coming back to WWE. That's known. However, he's not coming to WWE just yet. Sportskeeda, WrestleVotes Radio, it was first reported that WWE is interested in bringing in Miro, but his return is not imminent. WrestleVote says, we are told there is interest within WWE to bring him back. One source said nothing is currently imminent, with the expectation that a deal could be reached towards the end of the calendar year. Obviously, Miro was in WWE from 2010 to 2020. Those who remember the early days of NXT remember that Miro, aka Rusev, really was he was a standout in NXT, came to the main roster, found a lot of success, right? Former United States champion. He won it 3 times, which is obviously relatively significant. He had a WrestleMania match against John Cena. We saw Rusev Day get incredibly over. Obviously, him not coming to WWE imminently is interesting, because a lot of people looked at Miro as that name that's like, hey, rushing to get out of AEW, get right back into WWE, and that actually doesn't appear to be the case. And until pen to paper actually happens, I would say that Miro is not 100% a lock for WWE. It's just interesting to see that the narrative has completely changed, because as you guys know, we did see at some point that Miro was one of those guys rumored to be leaving AEW specifically so he could go back to WWE. Now, obviously, we do got to take into account, I should say, that him and Lana are back together. CJ Perry, Lana, right? She could come back with Rusev, and there you go. Like, WWE has a little bit of an issue on SmackDown. It is improving. Obviously, Phoenix is going to SmackDown too, so I do look forward to seeing how it improves over time. But there is a slight issue on SmackDown with the roster not being as buffed as it should be. And obviously with Aleister Black and Rey Fenix coming in, that's going to help out a little bit. But I do support the move for Rusev to come back into WWE. I think he's going to be a great asset to SmackDown. That's exactly where he should be. I think they need to do a really good job of building up that United States Championship picture. And I think Rusev should win the U.S. title for the 4th time. And that would be great. And obviously, for those who think that he's a world championship caliber guy, I do believe that is a possibility. I would like to see that eventually happen as well. But for now, we got to fix the issues that currently exist. And that brings us to our final topic of today's video. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this face, it's okay. I'm gonna bring you guys aware of who this is. Mark Shunak is a gentleman who is now joining the WWE. He's a new signing for the WWE, but he actually is very experienced. And as somebody who watches boxing, you guys probably know who he is, but he actually served as a ring announcer for Top Rank Boxing. He's also a host for the Las Vegas Golden Knights NHL team, and now on social media, he has confirmed that he is signed with the WWE. He says that he is stepping into a new ring with WWE, and he's thrilled to join Friday Night SmackDown. Mark, with Nash in his parentheses, we'll see you tomorrow night at the O2. Now, there's a big reason why I'm talking about this. Mark is somebody who is a great ring announcer, and especially in the sport of boxing. We just saw Joe Tessitore come to WWE. Now we're seeing Mark make his way to the WWE. Guys, it makes sense as to why Lillian Garcia is not doing Raw or SmackDown anymore. Lillian Garcia is going to be used for special events, Saturday night's main event, but she's gone. She's not going to be on TV. And WWE, instead of going to Mike Rome, who's doing NXT, they got Alicia Taylor on Raw. Now they have a new voice for SmackDown. And I don't know what it is about WWE reaching out to the world of professional boxing, but genuinely speaking, I am so glad to see that TKO has made this move. He has a good, distinctive voice. And if he can learn all the lingo and all the wrestlers and their weight and their, where they're from and stuff like that, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, of course. But this is one of those things. He is going to be a great asset to the voice of SmackDown. And for whatever reason, WWE bringing in these guys that have boxing experience, it's like an amazing thing to me, because it does create a little bit more of that sport feel to the entertainment aspect that WWE already does. And Joe Tessitore has easily become one of my favorite WWE commentators right now. So him and Michael Cole are two of my favorites, and Joe Tessitore has barely been there. So hopefully this guy does well. I think Mark could be a great asset. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below.